Hello folks, it is cold outside, which means it is time to wear your winter jackets once again. If you're looking for a new one this year, we've had loads of new arrivals, which have really impressed us. And we've got quite a few coming in the next few weeks as well, which I will mention. These are our favourite winter motorcycle jackets for 2024. First on my list of favourite jackets for this year is the brand new BELSTAFF Convoy. But I will mention a few other BELSTAFF jackets as well because they've had a big year in terms of new arrivals as well as improvements to lines we're already familiar with. And the bigger improvements actually across the board are that some of them have actually come down in price, which very rarely happens, and they've got CE AA certifications. I like the Convoy mainly because of the big fluffy collar and the fact that it is a newer style from them. But if you want something similar in terms of fit, just a little bit different for style, the Brooklyn's is a good option, and I also own that jacket. I can testify to its quality in the winter. It is a shorter jacket though, so if you want something slightly longer, you might want to look at either the Crosby or the Trialmaster. The reason these jackets stand out, aside from their overall quality, is of course they are wax cotton jackets. So if you want a wax cotton winter motorcycle jacket, BELSTAFF really are the company to look towards. This one, for example, uses an 8-ounce British Millerain technical waxed cotton for the outer. It also has a waterproof membrane on the inside, and the water will bead up to the outside because it has this treatment to the outer, meaning that water will find it harder to stick to the outer fabric, keeping you drier for longer and therefore warmer. And although there are other companies that offer wax cotton motorcycle jackets, in our opinion, BELSTAFF still offer the best quality when it comes to a wax cotton jacket. The Convoy is actually a little bit thicker than the Brooklyn's because it has some synthetic wadding on the inside. But if you want to go the extra step of adding a thicker internal layer, they have what's called the Climate Vest, which you can attach to either the Brooklyn's, the Crosby, or the Trialmaster and integrate it seamlessly. Or if you want to, wear it by itself in any other jacket. And I will mention a couple of other optional thermal layers later in this video. Next up, we have one of the most versatile options on this list. This is the Fuel Rally 2, which, if you like, also have accompanying trousers. Versatility does often come with a price tag, but I think if you were to assess all of the details of this jacket, you would agree that it is good value for money. These come in at £460. They achieve a CE AA certification, and they come complete with a full set of armour, which often brands won't include back armour, so on this occasion, you do actually have that installed. There's quite a lot of storage on this jacket, which adds to the versatility. You've got big pouch pockets on the front there, a huge pocket on the lower back, and internal pockets. You've got venting as well. Now the venting I'm not that impressed by. I mean, it's pretty similar to what I've seen on other brands, but the jacket in general for climate control is quite clever. The outer material is a 500 denier nylon. It has a PU coating, which makes it water repellent. And it has a waterproof drop liner on the inside, which is rated at 5,000 millimeters, which isn't the highest I've seen, but it's not the only waterproofing on this jacket. And the higher the waterproof rating, generally speaking, the less breathable the item is. So if you decided to take out the internal fully removable waterproof soft shell jacket, which can be worn by itself in its own right, it is quite a stylish looking thing as well. That is waterproof, so if you take that out, you reduce your waterproofing but increase your breathability. If you want to stick that in and it's a really wet day, then you will increase your waterproofing. So you have options there as to whether or not you want the jacket to be more breathable and better in warmer conditions or more waterproof for wetter conditions. Quite often what you'll see, even if the internal liner is removable, it's a little bit of an afterthought. It's certainly not something you can generally wear by itself. It would look a little bit unfinished in most jackets. This one actually is really nice looking and very comfortable. Next up, we have an eco-friendly option, and I'll admit, whenever I see the term eco-friendly, I sort of tune out because I assume there is a compromise to be had somewhere. On this occasion, not only is there no compromise to be found across this jacket, it is one of my favourites this year. Even before I get onto the environmentally responsible manufacture of this jacket, overall it's just really high quality. It's got some great features across it as well, and actually a really good price, £350. It also has a CE AA certification. It comes with D3O armor in your elbows and your shoulders, pocket for a back protector. It's got lots of storage across it, and it's a laminated waterproof membrane as well. The material has a water repellent treatment to the outside that is free of fluorocarbons, so none of these forever chemicals. And they use a 100% recycled laminated polyester. Waterproofing is rated to 10,000 millimeters on this jacket. And you have a removable 125 gram internal liner. I actually think I prefer the feel of this fabric, although it doesn't feel like wax cotton. So if you do prefer wax cotton jackets, then they have other options for you. For me, this one is really hard to crease. It's got a nice soft touch and feel to it, and it hangs in just the right way. And whilst we're on the brand Merlin, I will mention another of their jackets. It's the Merlin Jagger, which also comes in at £350. It's also a laminated waterproof jacket with a CE AA certification, and it comes complete with a fully removable synthetic down internal jacket that can be worn by itself off the bike if you want to, or of course stick it in there for extra insulation. It's another great option from Merlin, definitely impressed me when I saw it, and I would be remiss if I hadn't mentioned it in this video. Next up, we have the JD Escape Wool Motorcycle Jacket. This is the most affordable jacket on our list. It comes in at £269, and it has the highest CE rating of AAA. And you may well think that I have lost my mind in mentioning this in the best winter motorcycle jackets, but bear in mind that it's not always raining and it's not always freezing cold. There are certain days out there, and if you are a fair weather rider like myself at the moment, then you'll pick and choose your days. And if, like me, you want to be wearing something that you actually feel more comfortable in and just like the look of, this might be a great option for you. And I really do like the affordability of this jacket as well. You have a removable fur collar around the neckline. You can change the look of this if you take that off. And of course, if you want to keep it on, it will keep it nice and warm around your neck. It is thick-ish. It is a wool jacket, but it's definitely not the thickest on this list, and it has no additional insulation on the inside. So if it was a cold day, I'd be coupling this with a jumper or something thick underneath. Obviously on the inside, for abrasion resistance, it has additional reinforcement. It uses their XTM fiber and their XTM armor. I think it's mainly on this list just for me, because I really do like it that much, and a lot of that comes down to, once again, a big fluffy collar. Next up, in the studio, we have the REVIT Component 2, and I'll level with you, this is not the jacket that I wanted to mention from REVIT. And that's not because it's a bad jacket, it's a great jacket in its own right, but there is one better. It's just that we haven't got it yet, and it has been delayed. It will be with us very soon, and that's the REVIT Trench 2, and I'll mention that in a moment. The Component is here though because it offers some very comprehensive waterproofing. These come in at £420, have a CE single A certification, and they use a laminated HYDROTEX 3L outer fabric. It's definitely not the warmest jacket on this list. You would need to couple this with something on the inside if you want it to be a little bit warmer. It has got some very clever venting across it though, so it is quite versatile in terms of when you can use this throughout the year. And it has a really tough and hard-wearing laminated waterproof membrane. 3L referring to the 3 layers that it takes to make that. And remember, we live in the UK, so this is purely hypothetical, but imagine that it's been really wet recently and that waterproofing is the most important thing to you. Just try and get that in your head. It's a difficult concept to grab a hold of, I know, but if you want reliable waterproofing, this would be one of my picks. If, though, you see this video a little bit later and we have the REVIT Trench 2 with us, the reason that is possibly my all-time favorite winter jacket, or at least for this season, is because it is super comprehensive. It covers every single base I would want from a winter motorcycle jacket. Obviously, that does come at a price. It is the most expensive jacket on this list at £499.99. But it has all of their flagship features. So it is a CE AA certification. It has a laminated gore-tex waterproof membrane. It actually uses level 2 armor in the elbows and the shoulders. It has pockets for chest protectors if you want to get them additionally, as well as back armor. It has a thick internal liner that is removable, and it has lots of venting across it on the chest, which is the most functional because you're going to get a lot of airflow through there. They open nice and wide. They've got magnets on them as well, so they're really easy to interact with even whilst wearing gloves, and you can just open those up and allow a lot of airflow through. So even not in the winter, in the warmer riding conditions, it's still going to be very usable for a lot of the year. That's not the whole story though, is it, when it comes to winter riding? There are extra steps that you can take to make yourself more comfortable on those cold days. Starting with your base layers, if you're looking for a recommendation, the KNOX base layers are a great start because they come in at a really affordable price. We do have other options, but they're slightly more expensive from the likes of Climb or REVIT. I mentioned the climate vest from BELSTAFF before, and of course you can use that with any jacket that you want to, if you want to stick that under there for some extra wadding, just to pad yourself out, keep yourself a little bit warmer. We also have the REVIT Solar 3 if you want something that covers your entire body, including your arms. And I haven't needed to go this far myself yet, but we have options from MACNA as well that are heated options that you can combine with their heated gloves, heated socks, heated trousers if you want to. But on your torso, we have the likes of the Center or the Cloud, and these are also Bluetooth controlled, so it's much less fiddly trying to get access to the switches, turn them on or off. You can do that just using your phone. And again, they're quite versatile. You can either use batteries or wire it directly to the bike. If you're doing a lot of commuting, then it might be worth investing in that. I've definitely used heated gloves before in the past, and they were a game changer in terms of my comfort in the winter. And the last layer of defense that you'll generally always see me wearing in the winter, whether it's raining or not, is a waterproof outer. I actually use the Scott ERGO Pros that I've mentioned loads of times in previous videos, but even if it's not raining, the reason I stick it on there is that the key is layers. And I was taught this by my dad, who just sticks anything over the top of it to break up the wind chill from getting to you. So you could go for something like the ERGO Pros, or of course we've got other options from the likes of KNOX, like the WELBECK, for example. That's just what we stock, but if you find anything else out there, the trick really is just to break up that wind chill. And in that sense, I can save you a little bit of money here and say that you might already have a jacket that will work absolutely fine, and the only thing you need additionally is to get a waterproof outer to take out the wind chill. Those were our favourite winter jackets for this year. Hopefully we've given you some tools for your arsenal as well to protect you against the colder days that are imminently just around the corner. Let us know your favourites in the comments section, and I'll see you soon.